Step into the bustling world of OpenAI, where innovation thrives. Ever wondered what lies beyond the surface? Meet Sora, OpenAI's groundbreaking creation, redefining AI video creation. Can you envisage a future where reality and AI blend seamlessly? Discover the depths of Sora's capabilities. So, why is Sora so different? Take a look at what appears to be Minecraft. Surprise! It's not. It's all generated by Sora. But why does it resemble a 3D world from a video game? Why does physics seem so spot on? We're talking about glass that doesn't shatter, ice cubes, water, it's all there in here. We're edging closer to a future where AI-generated videos are so lifelike you can't tell them apart from reality. Dr. Jim Fan, a senior AI researcher, sheds light on the magic behind Sora. It's not just a creative tool, it's a data-driven physics engine simulating countless worlds, real and fantastical. Through complex mathematical and denoising techniques, Sora learns rendering, physics, reasoning and more. And guess what? Unreal Engine 5 might have played a significant role in training Sora, adding a dash of video game flair to its capabilities. Now, let's discuss a video prompt, a photorealistic close-up of two pirate ships battling inside a cup of coffee. Sounds wild, right? But with Sora, it's achievable. The simulator crafts intricate 3D assets, animating them flawlessly within the confines of a coffee cup. It's like a digital masterpiece brought to life, complete with fluid dynamics and semantics that defy reality. But how does Sora achieve all this? By leveraging Unreal Engine 5, the pinnacle of real-time 3D creation tools. From pixelated beginnings to near photorealism, Unreal Engine 5 transforms virtual worlds into breathtaking vistas. Each object, each shadow, meticulously crafted to blur the lines between fantasy and reality. And here's the kicker. Sora isn't just a passive observer. It's a learnable simulator constantly refining its skills through massive amounts of video data. By assimilating text and images, Sora learns to generate video pixels directly, mastering the art of video synthesis like never before. Many folks wonder how much more we can teach these smart AI brains called neural networks. They've already learnt heaps from vast amounts of stuff humans made, like books and internet content. It seems like we're close to maxing out what we can teach them, since we can't magically make 10 or 100 times more text appear out of thin air. But wait, there's some clever folks suggesting a solution, using fake data made by AI instead of humans. People weren't sure if this would actually work. They worried that tiny mistakes in this fake data might mess up the AI brains. Imagine feeding a bunch of weird pictures to an AI and it gets confused about what legs and fingers should look like. That confusion could get worse and worse, eventually breaking the whole system. But guess what? Recent research suggests this fake data idea might actually be the real deal. There's this core model called Orca 2 made by Microsoft that uses fake data from a smart AI called GPT-4. Now Sora also uses fake data and looks super impressive. It seems like smart folks at OpenAI caught onto this idea early and ran with it. Sora's success backs up this hunch. Now, some people get confused, thinking Sora just spits out images using Unreal Engine without any real magic, but that's not true. Let me tell you about a fascinating study from Harvard that will help explain how this works. So in November 2023, these brainy folks at Harvard wondered how AI makes these cool 3D images without any actual 3D info. They discovered something wild. Picture this. You start with a jumbled mess of pixels, like TV static. Then slowly, those pixels rearrange themselves until you can see a clear image, like magic. It's like watching a blurry mess turn into a detailed picture of a red car on a green lawn. Now get this, the AI in this study didn't even know what 3D meant. It just showed a bunch of flat pictures of stuff, like cars and boats, with some descriptions. But somehow it learned to imagine those objects in 3D space all by itself. It's like learning to draw a detailed picture of a car without ever being told what a car looks like. Pretty amazing, right? So, when people say Sora learned about physics just by watching videos, it's kinda like what happened in this study. Sora's AI brain figured out how things move and interact without anyone teaching it directly. Now, some folks still doubt that AI can really think or learn like humans. They say it's just moving pixels around and doesn't really understand anything. And to be fair, we don't fully understand everything about AI yet. But studies like this show that AI is starting to learn in ways that are kinda like how we do, and that's why people are so excited about it. Neural networks like GPT-3 don't inherently understand how things like water or physics work. They're just processing pixels on a screen without comprehending the underlying principles. However, researchers have found that neural networks can develop certain world models or representations of objects and their interactions. For example, a neural net called AELL-GPT was trained to play a game without any prior knowledge of the game rules or pieces. Yet, it developed a representation of the game board and pieces based solely on the moves it was fed. Despite this, some argue that neural networks don't truly understand anything and are just processing data without comprehension. For instance, GPT-4 must learn syntax, semantics, and data structures internally to generate executable Python code. Similarly, Sora, another AI model, learns implicit forms of text to 3D transformations and physical rules to model video pixels accurately. These neural networks learn through data rather than being explicitly programmed, which distinguishes them from traditional computer programs. However, while neural networks show promise in understanding and generating complex data like videos, they still have limitations. For example, Sora's physics understanding is described as fragile and far from perfect. It may produce outputs that are incompatible with physical common sense or make mistakes, like not shattering glass correctly in video simulation. Despite imperfections, the progress in large-scale training of generative models, like Sora, is seen as a promising path towards building general-purpose simulators of the physical world. These models operate similarly to large language models like GPT-4, which acquire broad capacities by training on a vast amount of data. In the case of Sora, visual data is turned into patches, which are the units of representation similar to tokens in text-based models like GPT-4. These patches prove to be highly scalable and effective for training generative models on diverse types of video and images. In simple terms, the text talks about how a type of artificial intelligence called neural networks, particularly one named GPT-4 and Sora, can learn about the world through data they're given. Although they might not completely understand complex things like physics, they're good at creating their own ways of thinking about the world based on the information they receive. This is a big step forward in the AI research because it means they can start to understand and even simulate things in the real world using what they've learned. Now, let's break down the more technical parts. There's mention of training a network to understand visual data. Imagine you have a video and you want the AI to understand what's happening in it. The network helps by making a simplified version of the video, kinda like summarizing it. This simplified version is called a latent representation, which is like a hidden way the AI processes information. It's like if you have a big library of books and a small list that tells you what each book is about. The list is much simpler than the library itself. This network, called Sora, can learn from these simplified versions of videos and then create its own videos using this knowledge. There's also a discussion about how the more resources you give to these AI systems, like better computers, the better they become at what they do. Finally, there's a bit of speculation about how AI could help us understand some of the mysteries of the universe, like how things behave differently when they're being observed. It's a bit like saying that as AI gets smarter, it might help us understand things that currently seem strange or mysterious to us. Drop your opinions in the comments box. If you enjoyed learning about Sora, please consider subscribing and sharing our video. We want to keep bringing you more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.